A very good morning. I am Dilshan Samarasekara, the Director Marketing at LNBTI, and will be the compeer this morning. So today is a very special day for all our new students and parents. So dear students, it's a moment to celebrate, as today you will turn a new chapter, an important chapter in your life. This is embracing your passion to become who you are dreaming of. So to start with today's proceedings, first I would like to invite Mr. Saman Kumara, Director of LNBTI, to deliver the welcome speech. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dilshan. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As the Director of LNBTI, is called Lanka Mr Institute, I consider this is as a great privilege to welcome the distinguished invitees from Japan and Sri Lanka to also LNBTI management and staff. Especially, my great pleasure to welcome all the newly registered students to LNBTI. At the same time, I would like to warmly welcome parents who are here, the exceptional young people you have raised, to provide a rich array of opportunities for them to learn, to grow, to discover who they are and how they want to make a difference in the world. LNBTI, since its inception in 2016, continuously works hard towards offering a high-quality academic program to our students, paving a clear pathway to educate them in Japanese culture and sound education, information technology. LNBTI recognizes the range of opportunities available in Japan and offer IT blended programs with Japanese language proficiency, enabling students to study and work in Japan in the future. LNBTI is a perfect stepping stone to excel in ICT and gain lucrative employment in Japan or firms in worldwide. At this remarkable location, awaits commencement on behalf of LNBTI, let me warmly welcome Ms. Imamura Kayo, Acting Head of Development Cooperation Section from Japan Embassy in Sri Lanka. Your presence today is an honor to LNBTI and it remarks a strong assurance and confidence to begin this new batch with your guidance. It is duty to highlight and to express special gratitude for Japanese Embassy in Sri Lanka, who always support LNBTI at any cost to develop education in Sri Lanka. We hope your continuous support and encouragement to build education in Sri Lanka. Secondly, let me welcome Mr. Roshan Gamage, Minister, Sri Lanka Embassy in Japan. Welcome for your valuable time to share your knowledge, experience with LNBTI. It is one of the best opportunities for us. I wish to convey my sincere gratitude for your continuous support to build education in LNBTI and your presence, which will bring significant recognition to us. It is my duty to highlight the immense dedication and guidance of the top management of LNBTI. I wish to warmly welcome Mr. Koga Mitsuya-san, the chairman of Lanka Nippon Bistec Institute. It is great pleasure, great honor to have your valuable person today to share this milestone at LNBTI. My gratitude conveyed for the direction and your contribution rendered to bring LNBTI to the next level to develop education in Sri Lanka. Mr. Dinesh Sapramadu, the Deputy Chairman of Lanka Nippon Bistec Institute, the Chairman of Senate Group of Company, who actively guides LNBTI for every aspect of development and significant pillar of LNBTI success since the day one, and we warmly welcome your presence for this event to share your knowledge and experience with new batch. Let me welcome this remarkable personality, Professor Ananda Kumar, advisor to LMBTI, founder dean, faculty, former founder dean, faculty of foreign studies at major university of Japan, and vice president of the Japan Association for Global Competency Education. Professor Ananda Kumar received the most prestigious JICA President Awards in 2020 as the first foreigner in the award history, being contribution to the promotion of international cooperation and education. My honor to welcome you to share your experience with your new batch. Mr. Kasuyuki Ikura, Director of LMBTI and Managing Director of Meta Technolanka, who has made a significant impact on quality aspect of academic conduct. We warmly welcome you to this event. Mr. Ravindra Pereira, Director of LNBTI, who continuously support LNBTI to make it a successful endeavor. I warmly welcome Mr. Dr. Tilak Chaminda, Head of Academic, LNBTI, who continuously guide the lecture panel to make quality education a reality. My great pleasure to welcome Mr. Geet Madhuranga, Registrar of LNBTI, Mr. Dilshan Samarsekara, Director Marketing and Business Development, Ms. Samira Malavige, Manager Marketing, and all the academic and non-academic staff members and students of previous batches. We could not be more privileged to welcome you into this vibrant opportunity at LNBTI, where you see your future as an ICT professional in the world-class Japanese company. As today, you are going to start a new and fresh journey of your life, full of new challenges, milestones, and achievements. We expect our students to create a new market, combining advanced technologies, then become leaders in ICT industry. It is you who make us what we are, and we look forward to the fresh ideas and energy you bring to LMBTI, which will create history in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Saman, for that speech. So next in our agenda, I would like to invite Mr. Koga Michio, our chairman, to address the students and parents to highlight on how you should prepare for Japan through LNBTI. Please welcome Mr. Koga Michio.
Thank you very much. I'm Koga Michio, chairman of LNBTI. First, welcome you to LNBTI. Congratulations on getting Japanese degree pathway. If you study properly, you will be sure to transfer to Japanese university. Will help you to be successful in LNBTI. As you may know, Japanese population of 18 years of age are declining from 2018. It is the reality of Japanese higher education institute that many universities will not meet their quota because of shortage of applications. You can be confident to transfer to Japanese university. But it is still not so easy to be successful in Japanese university. Then I will give you some useful advice. I think there are 3 keys to get opportunity in Japan. The first and the most important one is proud spirit as a Sri Lankan. You must be proud of yourself, be self-confident as a Sri Lankan. Then you are respected by foreigners. The second one is to make friends as many as possible in LNBTI and in Japan too. The third one, I'd like to emphasize the importance of Japanese language. I'll give you descriptions one by one, but in reverse order. Please, next page. You have to learn Japanese language seriously. First, in Japan, we need not speak English. We use Japanese in all the communication scenes. As a result, high-level proficiency in Japanese is essential in everyday life in Japan. Lectures in undergraduate class are given in Japanese. You cannot get part-time job without good proficiency in Japanese. Japanese companies require you to have a high proficiency level in Japanese as the most important qualification. Then here, I like to mention about Japanese Buddhist monks early in the Meiji period. Around the end of 19th century, many Japanese Buddhist monks went abroad to Ceylon to look for the earliest Buddhism. Since the doctrine of Japanese Buddhism as at that time became too complicated to understand, many young Buddhist monks in Japan believed that original Buddhism remained actively in Ceylon. The name of the first monk is Shak Kozen, in Sinhala name, Kozen Gunaratna. He started visiting from Yokohama port, 1886, and arrived at Colombo port. It took 1 month to arrive at Colombo port, and they were accepted warmly by Ceylon temples in Kandy and gold. They learned Sinhalese, and then with Sinhalese, they studied Pali text at the temples. It's your turn. Now you would like to learn Japanese. Okay, next page. At the second key, I emphasize the importance to make friends. Friends is your asset for your life. Friends make your life fruitful. It's important for you to have classmates in LNBTI. And it's easy to make friends in LNBTI because first you will trust your classmate, then he or she will trust you. And second, it's good for you to have many friends in Japan. It takes time to make friends in foreign countries. LNBTI will give you chances for making friends in Japan through the joint classes with Japanese universities and Sakura Science Program and exchange program with Japanese universities. Next page. I emphasize proud spirit as a Sri Lankan. You will be proud of yourself as a Sri Lankan. To have proud spirit, you will learn Sri Lankan history. You will know the value of your predecessors. Otherwise, you will never be respected by foreigners. So here I must say that there are some concerns for me. First one is Java Center. I visited there many times. I felt the displays were not well maintained. There grew mold on the precious painting. The pair of flowers vases that was Japan's imperial gift were exhibited randomly. It seemed to me that President Javadan was not respected by Sri Lanka people anymore. And the second example, National Museum of Colombo. Once I visited there, I found that the chair and the relics of Sri Vikrama Rajasingha, king of the Kandy, and garments and crowns of his queen, you must not make them public exposure, since he was the last king to oppose to English rule. And the last one is Jaffna Public Library. I visited there twice. First time it was 2004. I cannot enter the building. But second time, it was last year. I visited there. I was sad to see the library was bombed and the precious relics of Japanese culture were destroyed. It was very sad fact. But in any case, you will have 3 years to prepare. Next one. Okay. Anyway, you can enjoy yourselves in LNBTI. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Koga, for sharing your valuable thoughts on a very important area for students. For your students, you will be preparing for Japan from this moment onwards with LNBTI. So proceeding to the next speaker, we are indeed privileged and honored to have Ms. Imamura Kayo, Acting Head of Development Cooperation Section of the Embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka, to share important insights on Japanese government plan for globalization. Please welcome Ms. Imamura Kayo.
Good morning. おはようございます。Mr. 古賀道夫、ランカ日本ビステインスティチュート、チェアマンメタタクのアドバイザー、Mr. ディネーシュ・サムパラマドゥ、LNBTI Deputy Chairman, Senate President, Mr. Saman Kumara, LNBTI Director, Senate FCFO, Professor Ananda Kumara, LNBTI Advisor, Mr. GCSC Roshan, Minister of the Embassy of Sri Lanka in Japan, new students and parents. It is my great honor to participate in this entrance ceremony of LNBTI and to speak some words today. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the new students and the parents on your and your children's enrollment. I wish the new students all the best in your studies at LNBTI. I also would like to appreciate all the efforts made to this ceremony success, especially in the midst of unprecedented challenges caused by COVID-19. We would like to commend the LNBTI for producing a large number of IT engineers with many Japanese universities who are not only fluent in Japanese, but also have a good understanding of Japanese culture. This contributes a lot to promoting mutual understanding between Japan and Sri Lanka. The government of Japan focuses support on the areas of education and human resources development. For example, Japan has provided a grant aid worth approximately 457 million rupee for the Human Resource Development Scholarship Project to enhance the capacity building of public sector officials. Besides that, as a long-standing friend, Japan has provided many capacity building and skills development programs to accelerate the long-term sustainable economic development in Sri Lanka, which believes that this assistance would also contribute to enhancing mutual understanding and friendly relationship between our two countries and people. I would like to introduce a little about the situation of accepting foreign workers in Japan, which will be relevant to LNBTA student career paths after graduation. Many countries, including Sri Lankan workers with diligence, high-level education, and proficiency in English. In Japan, a further shortage of human resources is expected due to the declining birth rate and aging population, while foreign human resources remain unutilized. However, to continue the development and growth of companies, the required human resources in the IT sector also would not be fulfilled only within Japan, and excellent human resources from all over the country would be recruited. In fact, Japan welcomes foreign students and IT professionals working in Japan from around the world. As a result, the number of foreign nations working in Japan is increasing every year. As of 2019, 1.66 million foreign nations worked in Japan, of which 67,540 engaged in the information and communication industry. Many Japanese companies would place importance on Japanese language skills when hiring foreign IT engineers, and the educational philosophy of LNBTI and its graduates to train both IT technology and Japanese would be in line with the demands in Japan. Last but not least, I'd like to extend appreciation to the educational philosophy of LNBTI which contributes to enhancing the mutual understanding and relationship between our two countries and people. Our embassy will continue to extend any possible support for the educational activities of your school. Thank you very much for your kind attention. ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much, Ms. Imamura Kayo, for sharing some valuable information for students and parents who have joined us today. So many opportunities in Japan. So we are also indeed privileged and honored to have the next speaker joining us all the way from Japan, representing Sri Lankan Embassy in Japan. Please welcome Mr. Roshan Gamage, Minister, Embassy of Sri Lanka in Japan, to talk about an important and a current topic, which is Japan as a destination for higher education and professional jobs. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Iborn, good afternoon. Here, good afternoon. Now you are passing morning time. Yes, good morning. Thank you very much for having Sri Lanka Embassy in Japan. Mr. Koga Michio-san and Miss Imamura Kayo-san and all other officials from LNBTI, especially Professor Anand Kumar. Thank you very much for joining and having me to this special welcome seminar. Today, you are going to welcome parents and students to this seminar. I would like to recommend first Japan. It's a prestigious, pioneer place to study. It's a number of students, Sri Lankan students, now more than 8,000 Sri Lankan students study in Japan, special language schools and vocational schools, universities and postgraduate schools. A lot of students came to Japan after getting some basic knowledge in Sri Lanka, just like LNBTI programs, but your program very unique and very special. Number of Japanese organizations requested us many IT professionals from Sri Lanka. Even these days, under this COVID situation, number of Japanese organizations met us and requested qualified IT professionals from Sri Lanka. Sometimes we negotiated with some Sri Lankan universities, but this path is a unique path, as I mentioned earlier. You are going to recruit them, or you are going to teach them in Sri Lanka 2 years or 3 years. After you open these doors to come to Japan, and you are going to give next education step in Japan, in Japanese university. It's an excellent opportunity for Sri Lankans. This kind of well-organized, well-planned opportunities, more privilege, more we can get more benefits to Sri Lankan students. So this embassy highly recommend your program. We kindly request our parents and our students, please follow these guidelines, especially study not only subject matters, study Japanese culture and the way of study in Japan. My experience with students, a lot of students came here during last 2-3 decades to study here. But some students, they change their mind and they change their way, the purpose in Japan. And unfortunately, some students these students change their education path to other different paths, illegal. They involve some in illegal matters. Then I met some students, then we couldn't help them because they changed their purpose in Japan because of some other students, because of some personal problems. I kindly request you to our students and parents, when you start your path with LNBTI or any other organization or institute, please make sure remain on your selected path, not to change it. If you change your mind, if you change your path, then even this embassy cannot help you. So please follow these guidelines. There are a lot of Japanese experienced people with you, especially I recommend Professor Ananda Kuma. He has good relations with us always, and he supported us. He supported a lot of Sri Lankan students in Japan as well as in Sri Lanka. So please follow these guidelines. Please start with LNBTI. This type of professional skill workers really want this country. This always they are asking specified skill workers, highly skilled workers. Recently they introduced 3 types of opportunities. One is technical interns, but you are educated people. I am not recommending you this opportunity. And specified skill worker, this one is a different category, but you are coming here as professionals. As first study, then you can change your path to as professional. So thank you very much again, LNBTI. I would like to support you in future as well from this embassy. Please come to Japan after getting your basic knowledge in Sri Lanka. We would like to welcome you again in Japan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing those valuable information with us, especially with students and parents as they have commenced their journey to become successful in Japan. Next proceeding, I would like to invite Mr. Dinesh Saparamadu, our Deputy Chairman, to talk on yet another vital and an important area, which is skills expected by employees who will work in Japanese industry. Please welcome Mr. Dinesh Saparamadu. Your mic is muted.
Suba udayasanak aibowan ohayo gozaimasu. So first of all, I thought that I will actually speak 2 areas. First, I'll actually talk to you a little bit about the academic part, which you all are just entering. So as students, you are just about starting your journey in your life. So what do you have to think, or what do you have to do? We as LNBTI will give you a pathway, will give you a way that you will be able to form your future career, your life to become successful. But all will depend on how you plan yourself, how you get yourself organized. So on the academic side, LNBTI is very well known to its academic quality, the academic intensity of creating a great academic skills that are needed in the academic area. So that's, I have no thoughts to kind of go into detail, because that's something that you will do it continuously. But I thought I'll talk about the second area, which I think is very important as a student who are just about getting into building your life. You know, this is a similar advice that I gave my son when he entered university. And the way that we should think about is to kind of you need to put a plan in the work, in the normal office, or in the corporate world. We call it a PDP, personal development plan. As students, you must have your personal development plan. This is a plan that you will put together for yourself. You have your academic, your way of learning that you will actually work with LNBTI. But other than that, you need to really plan yourself how you actually want to do that. I returned to Sri Lanka almost 26 years ago by being in US for more than 10 years. Even during that time, these are some of my personal experiences, that I had my own personal development plan. I had my goals set up. I had my objectives that I want to achieve. So that's something I think all of you as students, you should actually write it down today, my personal development plan. So in that, there are 3 areas I wanted to discuss and give you some advice. How best to use your time during your education. First is to look at how to be able to absorb everything that you can get from your normal academic work, and also the way our chairman Koga-san mentioned of non-academic work, which is very important, which is making friends, being able to make connections with Japanese students, or whether Japanese instructors, or with different people. So that kind of experience is very important. And especially because you are starting this stage, you must be like a sponge. What does a sponge do? Sponge absorb everything that is there. So you should, as a student, you have to be able to be a sponge to absorb all the things that are happening, and being able to organize it in a way so that you can use that to build your own career path. That's number one. Second, you must be radically open-minded. Open-mindedness is something very, very important. You know, I think as Sri Lankans, this is something that we have lost. We have preconceived ideas. We have preconceived ways of thinking. Those things actually limit us and also hinder us in kind of growing our own future. So you must be open-minded. You must be able to think and be able to, you know, somebody's difference in opinion, without rejecting it, you must think about, let me think about it more. How does this person kind of perceive this in a different way? Can I walk in their shoes to understand why they are saying this? Once you start becoming very much open-minded, you will see a different side, which will enhance you in your own ways of building yourself. And third, and the last, is follow your passion. Follow your passion and explore much as possible. You know, I can give you an example. My son wanted to do economics, and his passion was economics. But when he went to university, he decided that economics was not only his passion, but he also moved into the new areas of data science. Now he is doing both economics, data science, a bridge that he has built. How did he do that? Because he was open-minded. He was looking at what was going on, what is happening. I think that is very important for us as students. And that's the advice that I like to give you when you're starting your journey. This is your first chapter of your professional and adult life. Up to now, you have been staying home. I think you're still staying home with your parents, but this is the time now you will be building your own career to move on. And last, it's not something that I have written down, or written means kind of a planned out, was thinking what our chairman mentioned. As Sri Lankans, we have to be proud of ourselves. We must have confidence in ourselves, and we must preserve our heritage and build on it and to go forward. So take your time to learn the histories of Sri Lanka, learn the histories of Japan, learn how each of these have really grown people to what they are. So I think as the beginning, I congratulate you to being selected to LNBTI, and the opportunity that we give you. Please use the maximum so that you actually be able to shape your own future destination, your future profession, and to become a valuable citizen for Sri Lanka and to Japan in the combination that we have been designed to do. So thank you very much, and congratulations of being selected to be a part of this LNBTI program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Saparamadu, for sharing those valuable information with our students, especially having the importance of having a personal development plan, a PDP. Thank you very much, sir. Next speaker is a proud graduate of LNBTI and currently studying at Future University of Hakodate in Japan from Sri Lanka. Please welcome Mr. Danika Ponamperuma to share his success story at LNBTI. Over to you, Danika.
Okay, thank you, sir. Hello, my name is Danika. and I joined LNBTI in 2018 as part of the second batch, and I graduated this year and transferred to Future University of Hakodate. So right now I'm in the third year at Future University of Hakodate, pursuing a degree in information systems, and I am still in Sri Lanka at the moment due to the travel restrictions. So I have not been, sorry about the noise. I have not been able to enter Japan yet. However, I'm still able to participate in the lectures online for the time being. So I have not really missed out on anything in that regard. So I'll talk a bit about my experience at LNBTI. To be honest, in the beginning, I found it a bit difficult to manage NVQ and LNBTI subjects all at once together with Japanese, and it seemed a bit overwhelming at first. But I soon realized later on that it seemed mostly that way because we tend to let a lot of the work get accumulated, and so a lot of it goes down to how you manage your workload, and the final exam also doesn't really make up 100% of the grade usually. So assignments that we get also have a percentage in it. So we get about 2 assignments per subject for the semester. And if you let the assignments pile up towards the end of the semester, with all the exams and the projects and assignments, it can feel like a lot to handle. Especially right now in my Japanese university, we get assignments weekly for at least 5 or 6 subjects with no deadline extensions. So I think the chance you have now is a good chance to get used to handling multiple assignments and to get into a certain rhythm of work so that when you join a Japanese university, which I think most of you are hoping to, you can cope better, because in my experience so far, the work over here seems to be more, the workload seems to be more, and it seems like we always have something to do at Japanese universities. And at LNBTI, we had a number of projects throughout. I think we had about 4 or 5, and those were all great opportunities to experience working in teams. And I realized this recently in one of my project teams at Future University of Hakodate, that the project that we are currently doing at my university is the first time that some of those Japanese students are doing any kind of group work. So I think doing projects beforehand at LNBTI is a good chance to get a head start on learning group work experiences. And and we even had at LNBTI, I think it was in the second year, we had a collaborative project with some students from Ritsumeikan University in Japan. And it was the first time for some of us working with foreign students, mainly Korean and Japanese. And it was a good experience learning how to communicate with them and work effectively with students from different cultural backgrounds. It's not a chance that we often get. So that was a great learning experience. At the same time, you can't neglect Japanese. With all the workload, it's easy to push Japanese aside, and but it's an area that we had to put a lot of time and effort into. We had 3 hours of Japanese every day, and we even had native Japanese teachers teaching us. And I think that was a huge advantage, being able to learn and interact with Japanese teachers every day, and to get used to their accent and their mannerisms. In the beginning, though, we thought it would be difficult because they're Japanese and they can only speak Japanese, and we were like, what is going on? But it gets easier if you give it a chance and make an effort, like not give it up and decide it's too difficult for you too early. But honestly, if the only time you hear or read Japanese is in the class, in my opinion, that will not be enough. if you wish to study in a Japanese university, it's better that you try to surround yourself with Japanese as much as possible. You have to spend your own time, especially on kanji. I know it's easier said than done, but it doesn't always have to feel like work. There are like shows you can watch, there are news and other articles, even anime, but anime is, I wouldn't recommend as a good tool to learn Japanese, but it's like better than nothing, I suppose. But there are many articles and news websites in Japanese that you can read. Yeah, for me, I thought after having acquired the requirements to enter Japanese universities, which is N3 or N2, I thought I was moderately confident in my Japanese, but when I started at Future University, I realized that I still felt like I had a long way to go. It is a whole new thing when you're studying in Japanese, and it's easy to feel lost and get lost and get left behind in class. Yeah, so one area I wish I had spent more time on was on learning kanji. Of course, there's Google Translate and different kinds of tools to help you read kanji. But then doing that really slows down your work, and it ends up taking up more time to do small tasks. So it really helps a lot if you can read well. So it's best not to neglect kanji and just put a lot of time and effort into it. Other than studies, we had various events. One of the biggest ones I remember was the Japanese Day in 2019. I think there are photos on the Facebook page and the website. We decorated pretty much the entire building, and we had many stalls, each demonstrating Japanese cultural aspects. And it was a great chance to learn for ourselves about the culture. Also at the time, the third batch of students had just joined the school, and we were not very familiar with them. So organizing this event was a great chance to work with them and bond and get to know them. Just experience working in teams with people, new people, and yeah. And other than that, we had decorations for Vesak, for Aurudu celebrations. We had year-end parties. We had a cricket tournament and a gaming tournament, all organized by students. So yeah, we got to experience event organization as well on top of this. And but I know these physical events in these times can be a bit difficult, but I hope that it won't be the case for too long. And we also had visiting lecturers regularly from Japan, doing lectures for us and organizing workshops and demonstrating their research, talking about the universities and job opportunities. So we got a lot of international exposure, I think. Yeah. One of the most memorable experiences I had at LNBTI during my time was the Sakura Science Exchange Program. For those of you who don't know, it's an annual exchange program where selected students get to go to Japan and visit a Japanese university that is part of the Sakura Science Foundation. And I got the chance in 2019, and 9 of us went on a 6-day trip to Kyushu University of Technology. During the trip, we visited Tokyo and Fukuoka, and we went to a museum of science and innovation. We went to see a Japanese castle built in the 1600s. Rode the famous Japanese bullet train, ate Japanese food, interacted with Japanese students, rode the trains and buses alongside other Japanese people. And it was just a great first-hand experience of Japan. And yeah, I value that experience very much. Last year, I applied to Future University, and I had to sit for an entrance exam and an interview, all in Japanese. And this is an exam in the university in Hakodate, but because of the pandemic at the time, we had to organize it online. And fortunately for us, LNBTI communicated with the university and arranged for us to take it online from Sri Lanka. So to prepare for this exam, we had special lectures from your professor in Waseda University, joining us online every week and giving us preparation sessions for the maths exam. And also a lecturer from LNBTI who was doing the BIP program to help us prepare for the IT paper. So yeah, we also had help from our Japanese teachers to prepare for the interview by holding mock interviews and giving us feedback and advices. And I think that really built our confidence in Japanese interviewing. And yeah, we got a lot of support for this exam. And lastly, I'll just talk a bit about my experience so far at Future University. I would say things have been going pretty well despite not being able to enter Japan. In the beginning, I struggled a bit with learning completely in Japanese and with the workload and the pace at which the lectures are done. But as the weeks passed, it got easier, and sometimes the lessons are really compact and the pace is fast, and it felt like I can't keep up. But I tried not getting disheartened, and I took it as a challenge. And yeah, it's still not easy, but our lecturers and my project mates are always there to help, and they regularly tell me to make sure that if I have any questions to let them know. And actually for one of my classes, I didn't have the textbook. We were required to buy the textbook for that class. And since we're in Sri Lanka, we were not able to get it. But our lecturer knew this, and before we even asked, she knew this, and she sent us PDF copies of the first few chapters. And there was another class which I had to drop because some of the lessons are done face to face. And I emailed the professor telling that I will be dropping this subject because I won't be able to take face-to-face lessons and it's not suitable. But he insisted that he will try to facilitate the lessons, and he emailed back and forth saying that he will try to make some arrangements for me to take the exams. So take the lessons, sorry. So yeah, I think if they see that you are making an effort, they will gladly help you out in anything. So yeah, overall, I'm very thankful to LNBTI for having given me this opportunity to study at Future University. And I plan to make the best out of it and hopefully find work in Japan and live here and just experience Japanese life in the future. So yeah, I wish you all a very good luck. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganika, for sharing your great experiences at LNBTI, and we are indeed proud of you. So students, you will also go through such great experiences at LNBTI in the next 3 years. Okay, so our next speaker is a well-known personality and a well-respected academic in Japan and in Sri Lanka, and an extraordinary person who we are very proud to have as Sri Lankans. A person whom we all know, we have spoken to and admired. Please welcome Professor Ananda Kumara all the way from Japan to shed more light on an important topic, secret behind successful Japanese students. Over to you, Professor.
Subudesana Kayo. Ohayo gozaimasu, and good morning from Japan. I'm very happy to join you at this orientation for the 5th batch. And first of all, congratulations to the first batch, the 5th batch of LNBTI who joined this year. In fact, you are some of very few candidates who would become successful as IT professionals in Japan in the near future. At LNBTI, you have the right path, right education, and you can become proud Sri Lankan IT professionals who would contribute the development of both Japan and Sri Lanka in the near future. In fact, people in Sri Lanka don't know much about the LNBTI model because this is the only place where Japan has, with the Japanese investment, a higher educational institute has been established. Not only in Sri Lanka, this is the first time to be in the whole South Asia. Okay, so because of that, let me introduce a little bit in detail about what LNBTI model and what you will get at the LNBTI. Please allow me to share the document from my side. Can you see the document now?
Yes, Professor.
Okay. Okay, so today I will talk about some facts about Japan and Japanese students. In fact, in the Japanese education, most of the students get jobs immediately after the graduation. Why is that? So I will talk about that a little bit later. But before that, I would give you this message. LNBTI graduates can get the same as of Japanese graduates to become successful Sri Lankan IT professionals in Japan. Okay, what LNBTI offers you? You know, it's a degree pathway to Japan. Is this true? Is this all? Get a degree in Japan? Not really. I don't say. It is not the truth. Why? It is a degree plus job pathway to Japan. People say in Sri Lanka, I want to get a degree. Of course, you can get a degree whether locally or abroad. But is there a guarantee that you will get a job after the degree is completed? Okay, so in fact, being in Japan for more than half of my life, I have gone through, I have been exposed to higher education and policies, and I have been also involved in as a administrator of this higher educational institute, that means universities. And through my experience, and both in Japan and Sri Lanka, I would like to give you some points for consideration. Just think about that. As students, what we do, we study some particular majors of interest, whether it is engineering or science or arts or commerce or something, whatever it is. We study. As students, you will study. What is the objective? Of course, there may be some people who study for self-satisfaction. Of course, it is all right. But in this modern society, we have to survive in the society. How we can survive? There are so many things what we should acquire to survive in this modern society in the 21st century. Okay, ultimate objective, I would say, is to get a job, and a good salary, which is sufficient for you to spend a happy life or satisfactory life. Okay, so what is the situation in Sri Lanka? We all know entering a university is a very tedious task. And what happens at the end, we all know. In a worst case, you study, students who study in a university, but no job. Or get a job which you are not satisfied about. So because of that, actually, not only you, so you should give this message to any of your friends or relatives or to your parents or to anybody who is interested about. Actually, at this particular time of youth, your decisions are very important. I usually say, you can reset a computer. You can reset the computer to the original situation. But can you say you can reset your age? You can reset your life? No, it's not possible. So what is happening in Sri Lanka? Actually, it is difficult to get a good job after completing studies in many academic fields. Of course, some majors provide good jobs, but not all. The majority perhaps are having a difficulty to get a good job or a job of their satisfaction. Why is that? It is a technical matter. The study content does not match with the market demands. In economics, we say Demand is very low, supply is very high. That means the cost will go down, or which means in practice, you cannot find a good job. So what should it be? Actually, higher studies should be able to provide the student a good job after the completion of the studies. Okay, so now I will talk about a little bit related to Japan. Due to some important characteristics of the current and future Japanese society, Sri Lankan skilled youth can contribute both Japan and Sri Lanka as professionals. So it's really lucky because our people are having that potential to become professionals in Japan. So what are these important characteristics which I mentioned here? Decrease in population, including the youth, young population. Then increasing age population with good health, not sleeping on the bed. They are very, very healthy. And also because of the increase in demand for ICT or system engineering or IT related activities, I would call them everything as IT sector. And the demand has been increasing very rapidly. And the lack of labor for this IT sector, these IT jobs. Okay, so now the question, can Sri Lankans enter Japan for professional jobs? And if so, what kind of jobs and how we can enter? Okay, so to the first question, answer is yes. To the second question, what kind of jobs? I would highly recommend, and so far from the speeches from previous speakers, you would have realized that information technology is a very easy path to get a professional job in Japan and do a lot of contribution to the both societies, not only Japan, but to Sri Lanka as well in the future. Actually, Sri Lankans are really talented, whether you have studied so far economic subjects or commerce or science or technology related subjects. It doesn't matter, because as a Sri Lankan, being a Sri Lankan, I also know even though students may go for particular streams of their interest due to various reasons, they are really talented. So to become IT professional, I think any Sri Lankan can become so if you focus on achieving those required skills. Okay, then to go to Japan. In fact, I have been in very close contacts with many Sri Lankans and of course with Japanese as well. Particularly from Sri Lankans, I have been receiving so many inquiries these days. From these inquiries, I would say almost all the inquiries are related to achieving their dreams of going to Japan and become successful. Okay, how to go to Japan and to achieve the dream and to become successful in Japan? I would introduce 4 pathways in total. Perhaps number 1, through a Sri Lanka agency. So enter Japanese school, then after completing 2 years or so at the Japanese school in Japan and move to junior college or technical college, 2 or 3 year degree. And the minority, very few number of students go proceed to the 4-year degree, because actually it is not that easy. And this path is very well known in Sri Lanka. So I don't want to comment so much, let it be as it is. So the number 2, pathway number 2, Japanese government scholarship. Competition is extremely high, and very good talented people get opportunities to go to Japan through this kind of Japanese government scholarship. In fact, I am also one of them who received this Japanese government scholarship long time ago. And I had a very, very good time in Japan. I could gain a very good knowledge, which admires the whole Japanese society. And that's why I could enter the Japanese society, even the administrative post in the academic sector. So, but the problem is competition rate is very high. The number of students to be selected for the scholarship is very limited. Okay, so then enter to a Japanese university by yourself. not going through an agent. This is less expensive, but very difficult to enter, according to my understanding. So the fourth one, Japanese degree pathway offered by LNBTI. Actually, this is really unique, which is not known to the Sri Lankans so far. Only very few people in Sri Lanka know, and you are some of them. And about this model, I will tell you details later. Okay, so this degree pathway, what is it? Why we have selected the IT sector? Let me elaborate a little bit. As our chairman, Mr. Kogamichio, and others have already mentioned, a huge labor shortage is expected in the IT professionals category in Japan. Even now, there is a labor shortage. As our minister from Sri Lanka Embassy in Japan, Mr. Roshan informed, people come to the Sri Lanka Embassy here to find IT professionals from Sri Lanka side. But still the demand is, the supply side is not sufficient. So the next point is foreign professionals can easily join IT sector, including from Sri Lanka. Of course, some conditions apply. There should be certain conditions you have to supply, you have to fulfill. I will tell you about that later. So, so this is the second point. In fact, according to the statistics in Japan, after 2019, the local supply of IT graduates will decrease. So that means the demand will be very high, but the supply is very low, becoming decreasing. Let me use this graph, which was published by the Mizuho Bank Research Institute. So this graph, let me, if you are watching this graph for the first time, I would have to a little bit explain. So the left side, this is referring to 2010, and the right side, 2030. So the lowest part, this light blue, this refers to the number of IT graduate supply from Japan. That means from the universities and other higher education institutes in Japan. And the other two, the upper part, if the Japanese economy performs very well, the estimates say that 790,000 IT jobs will be available. They are not to be fulfilled by Japanese graduates. So that means this is a lack of human resources for the IT sector, 790,000 jobs. Even if the Japanese economy does not perform well, the estimates say that 410,000 jobs will be available for the foreigners, which cannot be fulfilled from Japan. So there is a very shortage of IT professionals in this sector. So you can see this demand is increasing very rapidly in the future. This is where we have targeted, and you will be entering to this IT sector. So what are the necessary conditions? First of all, educational qualifications, a 4-year bachelor's degree is a must. And of course, only with the academic qualifications, you cannot get a job in Japan and become successful. You must have a Japanese language. And of course, many people talk about this number 1 and 2, Japanese language qualification. If you have Japanese language, you can become successful. I don't agree. Of course, you can do to a certain extent, but to become successful in Japan, the number 3 is very important. Understanding about Japanese society, Japanese business culture, how the things are happening in the Japanese companies. Without this, you cannot become successful in the IT sector. Not only the IT sector, become a professional in Japan. Actually, if you know all these 3, you can become very successful in Japan. So as LNBTI graduates, what can you do? So 3 years study in Sri Lanka. Study means 2 years study plus internship. Plus, then content is IT plus Japanese language plus business culture. What is necessary to become successful in Japan is provided at the LNBTI. So you will be transferred to the 3rd year of a 4-year degree in Japan. Study 2 years. Then you can get the Japanese degree. So what is after that? Work as a IT professional in a Japanese company. Or it may be a foreign company, but relating to IT sector. So this is number 1 or route 1, I would say. There's another route. So after you complete the LNBTI course and transfer to the Japanese university and then get a Japanese degree and do not work as IT professionals. So do what? You go for master's and PhD degrees. That means professional degree, Paschatupadi in Sinhala language. Masters and PhDs. If you go up to this level, many high-skill jobs will be available with very high responsibility. Actually, this is the case in my, I am one of those who went through this part. There are many other Sri Lankans also. Okay, so what is this LNBTI degree path? Degree plus job pathway. So please remember this one. This is not only a degree pathway, but degree plus job pathway. So you are now very well aware about what you are going to do at the LNBTI. So you can acquire a 4-year degree in the IT sector and a job after 4-year degree completing in Japan. So again, just go through that. Study in 3 years, including the 1-year internship, transfer to the 3rd year of a partner university in Japan, and study in Japan for 2 years, and join as a IT professional in the IT sector. So LNBTI is a full package. It is not only giving you a degree or I would say a piece of thick paper. So that not only a paper, it has a value. So with that particular certificate, you will be able to sustain your life. So so this is the same thing. Actually, the most important part is number 5. At the end of the year 5, after now to count this year as year 1, 2, 3. So 3 years in LNBTI, then year 4, 5 in Japan, and year 5. At the end of the year 5, you will get a Japanese degree, and immediately after the Japanese degree, you will start working. Why? Now, actually, why that can happen? So I would now come to the point. In case of Japanese universities, Japanese graduates, the young students who will study at the university will get a job immediately after the graduation. Academic year usually run from 1st of April up to the 31st of March. So usually the graduation ceremony will be at the 3rd week or the 4th week of March. So that at the 31st of March, you will complete all the activities relating to the university. And then from 1st of April, you will start work. Why is it? It is because of various kinds of internships. Immediately after entering to the university, up to the 3rd year, from the 1st year up to the 3rd year, there will be various kinds of internships. Of course, you will study the major, and in addition to the major, various kinds of internships are available. And particularly at the 4th year, which are directly related to the jobs, will be internships for you. And the students will attend to various kinds of industrial seminars organized by various kinds of industries. So with all that, you can easily get a job. So if I summarize the things, secret behind the success of Japanese students: acquire skills needed by the society. So I was telling you at the very beginning, even though many graduates complete their degrees in Sri Lanka, they cannot get a job because this market orientation is lacking over there. They cannot, the study programs are not market related. The market does not need certain areas so much. I don't say nothing, but the demand is very few, but supply side is very high. That means many students cannot find jobs after they complete their degrees. The second one, you must try to deepen your understanding about the jobs or the real society. So in addition to the lectures at the university, sometimes there will be some certain seminars in the industry as well. We will offer you this kind of experience as well through your stay at the LNBTI. So market demand, what is needed for the market? And the third one, then to attend to various kinds of internships, various types. Then this gives you a very good opportunity to see whether you like this particular company, and the company, it gives a company also a very good chance to see is the right person for our company. Okay, so at the final year, if you follow these kinds of the activities in addition to your major study, mostly at the second half of the academic year, you will get job offers from various companies, not only from one, maybe multiple companies, if you go for that. So you can easily start the job as a professional in Japan, as in the IT sector. It is very much similar to what Japanese graduates will get. No discrimination will be there, provided that if you have skills. Okay, let me just give you some idea about the salaries in Japan. So if we categorize the companies according to the size of the companies, from 10 to 29 employees, the average salary in Sri Lanka rupees will be, this is the annual salary, 64 lakhs per year. Okay, for if it is a middle size from 100 to 499, this is according to the Japanese category. So the average salary will be 88 lakhs rupees. And for very large companies, it will even go beyond 1 crore, 107 lakhs. Okay, then how about the skill wise or the profession wise? If it is a technician, the average salary is 44 lakhs. And nutrition is, there are certain designer 79 lakhs. And university, national university staff 98 lakhs. And as an IT professional, IT engineer, system engineer, you can see it's a very huge salary. And of course, if you go beyond that, if you complete a PhD and become a university professor, your salary will be very high. So at the LNBTI, we have only 3 requests to you. So the first one is improve your skills at the LNBTI, IT related skill, and deepen your understanding about Japan, and enjoy your life at the LNBTI. And of course, we will provide all these opportunities. It is up to you to brush up these things. And then 1 year internship also will be there. So at the end, you will become a IT professional in Japan. So to add some image to what I am talking so far, let me just show you a very simple video. Just please allow me a few minutes, few seconds. Okay, I am ready. I will share the document. Can you see, Mr. Dilshan?
Yes, Professor, I can see.
Okay. This is the future Japanese society. Society 5.0.
IoT や AI 技術によって叶えられるソサエティ 5.0 の社会です。おはよう。朝ごはん何にしようか。スムージーはいかがですか？いいね。そろそろお出かけの時間です。よっ。コロッケパンとミックスサンドいつものお店でお願い。注文しておきます。昨日から血圧が高いみたいですが。あら、そう？また行ってきます。いってらっしゃい。おはようございます。おはよう。はい、これ。ありがとう。 未来が楽しみです。なんでもないです。
Okay, I'm sure that will give you some idea about what kind of a society will be there in Japan in the future and the role of IT sector. Thank you very much. And I request once again to all of you to make your greatest attention to study purposes. And I'm sure a very bright future will be in your hand in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor, for sharing those words of wisdom. And I'm sure Professor would have made you more confident and understand the secret to become successful in Japan. Thank you very much, Professor. Right. So our next speaker is one of the most important persons for students and parents, as he will be the person you will be very closely working with in the next 3 years. Please welcome Dr. Tilak Chamindra, the Head of Academic Affairs at LNBTI, to enlighten all students about academic activities at LNBTI. Over to you, Doctor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dilshan. So I think it is my duty to initially introduce the entire team, like who are joining with us through this journey. So therefore, I would like to invite all the LNBTI team to on their cameras. So I just want to introduce all of you, or the new students and their parents. Thank you very much. So, students, we would like to invite all of you also to on your class. So I think we can recognize each other. I would like to kindly invite new students also to on their cameras. So to introduce each other. Thank you. Okay, I think this is the first time we are doing this kind of inauguration ceremony. I think traditionally all the time, like we are starting this ceremony by introducing the entire team to the new students and their parents. So yeah, I would like to warmly welcome all of you to this inauguration ceremony. And I would like to introduce all the staff whom working with you. Yeah, I think already Mr. Saman, director of LNBTI, did the welcome speech. Then the Mr. Hasuyuki Ikura-san, I would like to kindly ask you also to on your camera.
Ikura-san, camera on していただけますか? Perhaps Mr. Okay.
Mr. Kasuyuki Ikura, one of our directors, and then Mr. Ravindra, another one of our directors. I think Koga-san also our chairman, and then the vice chairman, Mr. Dinesh, also addressed. So then I would like to move into the academic panel. I think Professor also address you all as an advisor of LNBTI. We are familiar with all of you. And then I would like to invite all the academics. I think as we are having time, I would like to kindly invite all of you to introduce yourself very shortly to all the participants. So as we are having enough time to complete the session. So let's start from the Ms. Bashini as the ICT academic.
Hello everyone, I'm Bashini Vijayakana. I'm a senior lecturer in LNBTI and I'm doing mathematics for y'all.
Yep, Mahesh.
Yes. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Mahesha, we can hear you.
I'm Mahesha Tejani and working as a senior lecturer at LNBTI. I have experience in academic field and software engineering field around 12 years of time period. And yeah, my favorite modules are the programming modules, database modules, and some technical modules. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nisha. Ms. Sugandhi.
Hello, I'm Sugandhi. So I'm a lecturer at LNBTI and I'm also working as your academic coordinator for batch 5 and I deliver IT and interdisciplinary subjects.
Actually, she will be working very closely with all of you as the batch 5 level coordinator. So you have to continuously interact with her. Yeah, then the Mr. Chandana Deshapriya.
Hello, good morning everyone. I am working as a ICT lecturer and I am doing most of technical based subjects like electronic robotic projects and most of the project thing I am doing in the LNBTI. I wish you all the best for all students. Okay.
Mr. Janit Pereira.
Hello, I am Janit Pereira. I am also working as a lecturer in LNBTI. And I am doing technology related subjects and AI related subjects. Thank you.
Thank you, Janit. Then I would like to invite all the Japanese language lecturers. Actually, it's Randima. Let's start. Randima Sensei.
Hello, I am Randima Navaratna. I am conducting your Japanese language lectures for N3 students. これからよろしくお願いいたします。
ありがとうございます。石原先生。
Hello, I'm Ishara Hettiarachi. I'm a Japanese lecturer at LNBTI. I'm doing the N4 class. じゃあ先生も言ったようにこれからよろしくお願いいたします。
Subibi Sensei.
Okay, hello, a very good morning to all of you. So I'm Supipi Lakprabha. I do lectures on Japanese language and culture to new batch 5. So you have already been with me in a few lectures. So hoping to do my best in future also. So wishing you a very good, successful life with LNBTI. Thank you. And これからもよろしくお願いします。
Our registrar, Mr. Geet Madhura Peruma. Our registrar, Mr. Geet Madhura Peruma. I think Mr. Geet may have some technical issue. Okay, till he's joining. So then Ms. Udeshika.
Hello, I am Udeshika. I am Academic and Administrative Secretary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Udeshika. Then Ms. Erandi.
Hi, I'm Erandi Vandiyarachi and I'm working as Administration Executive.
Okay, I think Mr. Sumudu also. Mr. Sumudu, I think.
Hello, I am Sumudu Maduranga. I am working as Administrative Assistant. I wish you all the best.
Okay. Thank you, Sumudu. Then I would like to introduce our career guidance and then the quality assurance officer.
Hello everyone, I am Umesh Karunaratna. I'm working as career guidance and quality assurance officer at LNBTI.
Thank you, Umesh. Then our marketing team, Mr. Dilshan, Director Marketing.
Hello everybody, I'm Dilshan, Director Marketing. I hope you all the very best, my dear students, with LNBTI.
Then Ms. Samira Malavigi.
Hi everyone, welcome you all to the LNBTI. Today is a very special day. I am the manager, student enrollment and student affairs. You already know me and you all already spoken to me. I consider you all as one of the luckiest students in Sri Lanka for this time. All the very best for your future. And I actually predict your future will be really good in Japan. All the very best for your future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Pavitra Jayaratna.
Hi, it's a pleasure seeing you all here. I'm Pavitra Jayaratna and working as the Assistant Manager in Sales. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Geet, are you there? Are you ready? I think he may have some technical issue. Okay. I would like to thank all of you for introducing yourself. So I think we can meet all the students within our class or the lectures. So then I would like to move into my small space. Thank you very much for introducing yourself. I think now we all spoke about Japan opportunities in Japan and the importance of LNBTI model as well. So actually, I would like to emphasize like how to ready to Japan. So that's the theme I wanted to discuss in my speech. So let's see how you have to prepare for Japan within LNBTI and how we are preparing you for Japan within LNBTI. So actually, when you join with LNBTI, I think most of the students already who are with us in this forum today, I think they participated for some of our sessions as skill development programs. So some students were with us for maybe some few months and some joined recently. So we are having actually 2 student groups with us. So the students who joined initially and the other group who joined recently. So we are planning to continue studies separately for them and join both groups at the end of this semester. So that's our plan. So to continue that pathway, so actually I think all the new students have to adhere into the LNBTI culture and the values. So I would like to highlight the values we are having at LNBTI. So especially the teamwork among the students and staff is the main the value we are having all the time. We work together. So we really value the harmony of the organization. So always we work very closely among all the staff members and all the students. So we kindly ask you to adhering to that culture. And we trust and respect all the individuals within our organization. So we trust all of you and we respect all of you. We expect you also do the same for all the LNBTI staff. So actually, I can't say, simply I can't say trust me and respect me. I have to earn that. So otherwise I can't push anyone and say, you should respect me. So we believe you also will feel same. So we have to earn trust and the respect. Okay? So if I don't follow what I tell, then there's an issue in trusting others and the respecting others. So we believe you will earn trust and respect. We also do the same. So I think you all can understand what I'm telling. So then we are open and timely communication. So we are very rich on that thing. So always we are ready in advance for any challenge we are having, especially with this COVID pandemic situation. So I think all the students will provide the evidence. Actually, we didn't close our institute even a single day. So we had all our sessions as we planned, not only the lectures, all the extracurricular activities, all the examinations, all the meetings, everything happened on time as we have planned. So I think there are some set of students. So they will provide I think adequate evidence about the way we were handling those challenges. So and then always we are maintaining the performance excellence within our organization with the Japanese influence. We know that working on time and then working according to the procedures we are having, so is a must within the LNBTI. So always we ask all of you to adhering to all the procedures which are following at LNBTI. So those are the key points we expect all of you to adhere within the time you are spending with LNBTI. We believe even after leaving from LNBTI, those values will improve the value of your career. So I think already Professor Anand explained about the LNBTI academic model. So here I just want to brief what we are doing. So actually, as already you are aware, so we are providing 2 qualifications. What are those qualifications? If you join with any other institute in Sri Lanka or anywhere, so you will get only 1 qualification, maybe the degree program you are joining with. If it can be IT or maybe engineering or maybe something relevant to art subjects or management subjects. But within LNBTI, we are providing 2 qualifications for all of you. So in order to provide such 2 qualifications, we have well prepared and scientifically arranged academic model. So there are actually within first 2 years, we are providing all the academic exposure relevant to ICT and Japanese language. With that exposure, we will let you to join with the industry in the 3rd year. So we will find all the internship opportunities. So then you will get chance to work full time in the industry. So within first year and 2nd year, you don't need to worry, even though you haven't done ICT or Japanese language. We know that some students have done ICT and some students have done Japanese. Some students have done both. But you don't need to worry, even though you haven't done anything, because we have, as I mentioned we have arranged all the curriculum according to a scientific manner, according to the global standards. So we are not going to teach all the entire the subject or the entire. We are not going to give entire knowledge within 1 day. So we are gradually building up you to the professional standard. So in the we have divided all your academic work according to a few semesters. There will be 6 semesters, and 1 year like you have generally 2 semesters. So then first semester, 2nd semester, 3rd, 4th, likewise you will have 6 semesters. So each semester we will you have to face around 5-6 subjects. So we will gradually let you experience those subjects. We know like how the students who have exposure on ICT and Japanese are reacting, and we know the students who don't have ICT and Japanese exposure are reacting. So we have well prepared our model according to all the students. So you don't need to worry about any challenge you are having, because we know already there were 4 students badges with us. So with that experience, we have prepared all those academic strategies. So not only that, especially we know that it is really important to provide Japanese language and cultural exposure as well. So in order to provide that cultural exposure, we have done various arrangements, especially collaborations with Japanese universities, collaborations with Japanese professors and students are there. Not only that, the collaborations with industry also will be there in order to get that exposure. So we would like to experience that and help us to develop you through that path. Okay. So then I think at the end of those 3 years, you will be able to join with the Japanese university, and you will be able to join with the Japanese job market after that. If you are really willing, you can join with your postgraduate studies also within Japan. So I would like to highlight one part in here, especially the internship. During that time period, you will experience and you will really practically do the stuff you learned within first 2 years. So we will try our best to give you opportunity in a Japanese-based project in this internship. So even though within Sri Lanka, before you are going to Japan, you will get that exposure. So and not only that, when you complete your degree in Japan, so we will support you, we will assist you to find a job. So after you graduating and even after you joining a job, so through our well-prepared network, so we will assist you to assist you for the success of your life in Japan. So I think it is my responsibility to explain our model and the strategies we are following in order to improve you. So we know that I think already I introduced the entire team who are assisting you. So we will provide continuous guidance through superior academic panel. And so there will be a continuous academic quality assurance process. So each and every students will get opportunity to give feedback about all the lecturers, all the academic procedures or any other matter within LNBTI. So through that, we would like to improve our quality. And then we want to pay our attention for each and every student individually. So I think already you witnessed that, I think during last few days. So because we spoke to almost all the students individually. If we identify some issue in some students, so we gave solutions, customized solution for each and every student. For example, I think if you found any student, if any students is weak in English, so we arrange special English lectures for them. If you identify if someone is weak in programming or maybe any other matter, so we will arrange special sessions for such students. So therefore, you don't need to worry about the challenges you are having in this path. So we always are there. So assist you. So and we are always providing student-centric education. So which is the world recognized the modern teaching and learning method. Okay. And then not only the academic matters, we always continuously develop your soft skills, which are really valued in Japanese society. Not only Japanese society, entire world is valuing those soft skills. So we parallelly develop all your soft skills in order to improve your career. So I think already I explained about the industrial exposure we are providing. And then actually we are practicing active learning concepts, especially for Japanese, in order to provide Japanese language and cultural exposure. So we have blended ICT and Japanese language and the culture. For example, we will simulate Japanese working environment within our organization. So we will ask you to work on software projects. So there'll be some people will behave like Japanese clients, some people will behave like Japanese software developers, and you have to communicate through Japanese language. You have to present in Japanese language, preparing materials and doing presentations. So likewise, so we have arranged such active learning through project-based learning in order to provide Japanese language and cultural exposure. And then we are motivating student supporting systems, and we have prepared all our academic programs, actually Japanese language, as well as ICT program according to the professional standards and the global standards. And not only that, so we are asking all the students to participate competitions and research activities. I think already we asked almost all of you to engage with the competition. Okay? I think even yesterday we had a very fruitful session with all the students. So likewise, continuously, we will provide such opportunities and we will motivate you, and we are providing adequate support for all the activities. I think already I mentioned that we are having that international standards when we are preparing our curriculum and all the academic models. So especially, I think already we discussed about the exposure we are providing to improve your Japanese language and cultural values. So at there actually, we teach Japanese language daily. I think at least 3 hours we are teaching Japanese language. So within a week, you will get around 15 hours of exposure for the Japanese language and culture. So I think you may experience in, I think last week or this week, in your the skill development program, the orientation program we did, I think we asked all of you to how to work on 5 years concept. So we started everything from your PC. Then we asked you to improve that into your table and then into your room, into your house. So that's how we are practicing Japanese values, Japanese, the way of working and doing business within your character. Okay. So then, and we are providing Japanese cultural exposure through active learning concepts. That's how we are doing active learning. So maybe within coming days, we will ask you to do various activities parallelly with us. Okay? You can experience that. So, and then the Japanese cultural programs will be there, Japanese days, Japanese magazines, Japanese talent shows, and the various cultural exchange programs with Japanese students will be there in order to improve your Japanese language and the cultural skills. And then like we are conducting in-house and the remote guest lectures by the Japanese university professors. Actually, our management is investing a lot for such sessions. So all of such arrangements are to prepare a well quality or Japanese quality graduate within Sri Lanka. So, and then there will be various joint research projects as Mr. Danika mentioned, so actually we are working with the Ritsumeikan University and with many other universities for the research projects. So you will get opportunity to work with such projects. And we are providing scholarships for educational visits. I think already many students participated for Japan visits. And then there'll be many other special benefits through the MOUs we are having with Japanese universities. And there'll be some other scholarships for the degree continuation in Japanese universities if you are having a good academic performance. So already some of our students got really good scholarships for their continuation of degrees in Japanese universities. So, and then there will be remote supporting sessions targeting the Japanese university examinations. Actually, we are providing special knowledge that we know that some knowledge areas such as like mathematics is very unique in Japan. So we are supporting for the in order to improve your mathematics knowledge, we are supporting through Japanese professors. And then there will be various career guidance sessions targeting Japanese job opportunities. And even after you joining with university or jobs, we are providing our continuous support in order to your career success in your career in Japan. So that's how we are providing Japanese language and cultural exposure. In future, there will be many more opportunities for you through LNBTI. So I think now already I discussed about the pathway. So here, I think especially the ICT, in order to develop your ICT and the other Japanese language level. So this is our plan actually. So within first year, we want to build up your Japanese language level up to N4, then the second year up to N3, and the third year up to N2. We know that there are some students who are having already N4 level and N3 level Japanese language level. So they can proceed up to the very high standard when they are reaching to the end of the program. So, and then each academic year, we are having 2 semesters, okay? In those 2 semesters, at the end of the semester, you will have end semester exams. So within the semester, you will have various continuous assessments. So then you don't need to worry about the examinations or the assessments. You don't need to earn all the marks at the end. So you can gradually increase your marks even though you are having multiple subjects. So always we are there to assist you. So if you feel like some subject is difficult for you, it is difficult to manage. So you have to simply inform that to us, and we always there to assist you. So I would like to thank for joining with this presentation and participating today this session. And I would like to wish all the best with LNBTI and wish you success in your future. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for giving such confidence to students on unparalleled support to do their academic work successfully. Thank you very much. Okay, next, I would like to invite Mr. Geet, Registrar at LNBTI, to talk about another important area, student support services at LNBTI. Over to you, Geet.
Thank you, Roshan. Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe with my interconnection that will be too slow. So
Your voice is very low.
Slow. Now it's okay, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We can't see you actually.
So, yeah, actually, due to power cut, I was a bit different with that. That's right. Okay. You all are welcome to the High Diploma Batch 5. So, I would like to explain some details about registrar division, what the registrar division does. So, as a registrar, I am the heading of the division, and I'll explain some of the activities done by the registrar division, especially from registration. You may know that already you may have contacted with the marketing division for the registration of for the high diploma. So and also you may have received the offer letter and also those who have accepted the offer letter and they also know the enrollment agreement, so they may have got the confirmation letter. So those are the things that we provide for you to register with the LNBTI. And examinations. So we conduct the examination, as Dr. Tilak also explained. So we conduct the examination at the LNBTI premise. And but due to this COVID situation, we conduct the examination in online mode. From the day one said that we conduct the examination in online mode after the COVID situation, when the COVID situation arises. So, and also issuing admission, paper preparation, marking, visa releasing, everything are done in online mode at present. But when you physically visit to LNBTI, who having the lectures and also for examination, we will conduct in physical mode. And student records. So all of you are having a personal file in our office. So we maintain that to record all the information, even your examination result, attendance, and all the information of your records and your achievement, everything we record here. And issuing any other document that you require, transcript, letters, resources, so you may have to come to a division to get those information. And payment, with regard to payment, whatever the payment you do, that will be also recorded in the student personal file, and also we will be contacting you for those requirements. And enrollment with Japanese universities also will be done through the institution, and also for provide facilities to the student. You are at present that you are not using our facilities. So in the media payments, we provide facilities, internet and emails. There are so many facilities we provide to you. And student matters handling, whatever the matter that came across to you, so you can directly contact with us, get our advice. So sometimes we will direct you to the relevant people for communication. And graduation. For graduation also we will be contacting you. So we are handling that, and also like facilities also will be provided, and also maintenance of all administration work will be done by the registration. So we will be getting the more services in future when you visit to LNBTI. But even in online mode, we are doing this to support for you. Okay. So I'll talk about the. I don't take much more time for this. I'll talk about the attendance, especially the HR division maintain attendance. So you must need more than 80% attendance for your classes. Why we say like this is, if you attend for classes, so you will not be missing any kind of academic activities. So you will be complying with the requirement of the syllabus. So you will be, our lectures will be delivered, and during the lectures, you should not come late. If you are coming middle of the lecture, so that will be a disturb. So we are not allowing those things. So especially in the online environment, now you will be we will be lecturing you in team software, and you will be given the access also. So you have to come to the classes on time. So be highly explicit, and we expect you are present on time. And also 80% attendance, you have to maintain minimum of that, and 100% is the requirement. So we have to maintain 100% attendance. Then you will be getting the required knowledge that we deliver to you. And attendance, if you attended for the classes and examination, so achievement begin with regular attendance. If you attended well, so you'll be achieving a lot. And during the class time, if you are attending, so that will be strictly prohibited. And absent for examination also lead to fail grade. Sometimes some student is absent for some examination, so you will be getting a failure. Likewise, you have to maintain daily attendance. It's a must. And I think that our parents also with the student now, they also will be listening to this. So from the parent side that please ensure that all your students is attending classes. And please note that if you are not attending for classes, we will be calling you, and we will be calling to our parents as well. So we have your contact details and everything. So please, what we require and what we advise is please attend for classes regularly and punctually. So that is what I have to explain about the attendance. And for regarding examinations, so there can be examinations. It's the good thing, that important thing that we have to remember. So you will be having continuous assessment. That is the assessment that you have to face during the lecture hours, during the classes. You will have to attend for the continuous assessment. In the middle of the classes, that sometimes you will be coming, then you will be missing some of the important assessment. So those are not
I think we are facing some technical difficulties. He's in a
Yes, I think Mr. Geet is having some power cut
Okay.
from his end. Actually, another important point we wanted to discuss was we wanted to inform was like we want to have like a continuous like sessions with the parents. Actually, at the end of each semester, we want to have progress review discussion about each and every student with the parents. So actually, in that discussion, we will inform all the parents about the progress those students have achieved, and if we identified any issue in them, like we will discuss them with the parents. So then parents don't need to worry about the future, and they don't need to worry like what their kids are doing at LNBTI, because we continuously like work with parents. It's not like other places. So because that's the main reason we are maintaining small student groups. So we very closely monitor each and every student. So if we identify any issue or like in academic or any discipline kind of issue, we will directly speak to their parents. So therefore, if we identify any attendance, for example, any attendance issue, definitely we will call student. If they don't answer, the next dial we will be for the father or mother. So we have done such things. Then we have experienced that. So the students, if they are not willing to participate for the lectures, and if they are missing lectures, so then we know that they will continuously coming for the lectures if we follow that. So that's how we are improving the quality of each and every student. So parents, please keep in touch with us. දෑබර අම්මල තාත්තලකින් ඉල්ලනවා. අපි හැම සෙමෙස්ටර් එක හැම වාරයක් අග මීටින් එකක් තියෙනවා ඔයගලන්ත් එක්ක. ඒ දරුවගේ ඇකඩමික් ප්‍රෝග්‍රස් එක කතා කරන්න, ඇකඩමිකලි සබ්ජෙක්ට්ස් වල ගත්ත ලකුණු ගැන මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවා නම් ඒ ගැන කතා කරන්න අපි අම්මල තාත්තලත් එක්ක කතා කරනවා. නිසා ඒ දරුවන්ගේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රස් එක ගැන බය වෙන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් අපි ඔයගලන් ඉම්ප්‍රූව් කරන්න අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් හැමදේම කරනවා. ඒ වගේම ඇටෙන්ඩන්ස් වල එහෙම නැත්නම් ඩිසිප්ලින් වල මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි පළමුව දරුවන්ට ඒ ගැන අවවාද කරනවා. හැබැයි ඒ ගැටලුව දිගටම තියෙනවා නම් අපි දෙමාපියන්ට අනිවාර්යෙන් කතා කරනවා. ඉතින් අපි දන්නවා දෙමාපියෝ අපිට මේක වාරයක් ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙලා තියෙනවා. අපි ඇතුළත දැන්ට පවත්වාගෙන යන ප්‍රොසීඩියර්ස් හින්දා. මොකද අපිට සමහර දරුවෝ ඉන්නවා අපි හිතන්නේවත් නැති දේවල් වලට පෙළඹෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ඒ වයසේ තියෙන මම හිතන්නේ ආම මැචුවර් වෙච්ච දරුවෝ නෙමෙයි. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ වයසේ වැරද්ද කිව්වොත් ගැටලුවක් නැහැ. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා ඉතින් අපි දරුවන්ව හරිමාවතට ගන්න නිරන්තරයෙන්ම මම හිතන්නේ අපි හැමෝම වැඩ කටයුතු කරනවා. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා අපි දෙමාපියන්ගෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටින අපත් සමග නිරන්තරයෙන් සම්බන්ධ වෙලා ඉන්න. අපි ඒ පිළිබඳව දැනගන්න. Thank you. That's the other point we want to discuss through the Mr. Geet's session.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. And thank you, Geet. I think you will be also closely interacting with Mr. Geet as well in the next 3 years. Okay. So, dear students and parents, we have come to the end of a successful orientation, and it is my duty to deliver the vote of thanks. First and foremost, on behalf of LNBTI, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Imamura Kayo for joining us from the Embassy of Japan in Sri Lanka and sharing some valuable information which were very useful for our students. Thank you very much. And also, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Roshan for joining us all the way from Japan, from the Embassy of Sri Lanka in Japan, and sharing important and current information about Japan as a destination for higher education and professional jobs. Thank you, sir. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the two dynamic forces behind LNBTI, Mr. Koga Michio, our chairman, and Mr. Dinesh Aparamadu, our deputy chairman, and also Professor Anand Kumara, a well-respected and a reputed academic both in Sri Lanka and Japan, and Mr. Saman Kumara, a key figure that drives LNBTI towards success, and for sharing those inspiring speeches that would have reaffirmed the trust and credibility of LNBTI as the only Japanese-based higher education institute in South Asia with a proper pathway to become successful in Japan by obtaining a quality IT degree from a UGC recognized reputed Japanese university and to become a professional with a rewarding career. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Tilak for explaining the academic activities at LNBTI and Mr. Geet for explaining about the student support services at LNBTI. I also would like to take this opportunity to thank all LNBTI staff who joined us for today's orientation. I would also like to thank Danika, a proud product of LNBTI, for sharing his success story with us. Lastly, but most importantly, I would like to thank my dear students and all parents for joining us today. We hope this session would have brought you immense confidence in your correct and wise decision in joining LNBTI. So thank you very much and have a good day.
So, Mr. Dilshan, I just sent a message asking for a group photo, and because this is a very historical event.
Thank you very much, Professor. Yes, so I think to have a group photo, kindly on your cameras and okay. Can you all on your cameras, Samira, students? Right. So as Professor mentions, always it's not cheese. It's Professor. You can lead that.
Okay. So in Japan we say cheese. Cheese ね。じゃあ行きましょうか。In Japanese. 1、2の3のはい、チーズ。はい。This is the way.
So I will.
Okay. Can somebody take a screenshot from the staff?
Right.
So I can see all the faces smiling faces. Okay, finished.
Right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Mr. Deshapriya, we can wind up the Zoom